Hello everyone, how's it going? I am WoWcrendor, and welcome to another episode of World of Crendor, where I answer your questions that you email into worldofcrendor@gmail.com, and your question may get answered if it is an awesome question. It may also be awesome, but I only do 4 a week, so it may have to wait another week or two. Okay? Okay. First question. So, about the insane increase of HP and mana from LK to Kata was stupid to me. With a supposed new expansion coming out soon, there is probably going to be another crazy HP mana boost. Do you think that they are doing an overkill with this whole thing? It doesn't matter how much they keep increasing health and everything, it's probably going to take the same amount of time to kill someone of equal level whether they have 30k HP or 200k HP. It just seems like they're doing it just so people can see bigger numbers pop up when they do damage or heal. I think it's retarded. What about you? Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris likes sending me email. Well, I actually agree with you. I think it is stupid to raise the HP and mana like that much. And I think we're at a point now where I would be all for like even dropping the numbers back down. Like if they scaled down all the old gear and they scale down the current gear and we just had like lower numbers overall. Because it does get pretty frustrating when you see someone, it's like, I have 2 billion HP, and it's like, okay. And it's all about scaling, so like, if everything was scaled down, if you had 500 HP, it would take the same amount of time if you had like 200 million HP, but like, your damage only does like, you do 20 damage on a critical strike instead of like, 50 million, so it's like, it's all about scaling, and I can see why they do it, because when you do things like big crits, it's just like, oh, I just got a super crit for 1 billion. It's like, wow, that's cool. And like if you had lower HP numbers, be like, if we actually went back to the old way, we'd be like, oh man, I had a 500 crit. Now they'd be like, wow, you're really bad. So I don't think they're gonna go back down. I don't know, it's not a big deal to me, but I can understand where you're coming from. I actually, I hope they don't raise it too much, because I think, like, last expansion was probably, like, the perfect number setting-wise. I don't really want them to, like, keep going, and going, and going, and going. Okay, enough of that. Next question. Hi Crendor, as you may know, roleplayers get a lot of bad rep by hardcore gamers that think it's stupid to walk around and talk to people as your character, but personally I think it's fun and adds to the social aspect of the game, more so when all the grinding and dailies become repetitive. Since you make videos with plot in them, I was wondering if this has ever been something you have tried or have thoughts on it. Tons of less than 3 Kithame. I probably still said it wrong. Anyway, I don't have a problem with roleplay people. I think it's actually fun that they're like adding another layer of depth to the game, because and I think Blizzard does too, because that keeps it's like a whole nother category. Like there's the casual people, the hardcore people, maybe the in-between people, and then there's like role players that kind of like, I don't know, they're just like role players, and I don't think it's bad to be a role player, and I think a lot of hardcore people don't mind role players either. It's just the outspoken ones that are douchebags that post on forums and stuff like that, because that's how it is with most things. If you look at like any group of people, there's always going to be the outspoken douchebag people, and those are the people that represent the community through like public eye, and that's not actually what they're actually like, if that makes any sense. But I've actually been role-playing with Jesse Cox, if you haven't been watching that, so I'm gonna put a link to that. It's the adventures of Crimnox and Sprudel. I am Sprudel the gnome. I talk like Meatwad. It's funny. Me and him do like improv roleplay, and we're doing it correctly. We're not just like going around trying to troll. We're actually like role-playing with people, and we're just like really stupid roleplay people. Like our characters are generally stupid, so you can go check that out. It's pretty funny. And now the LOL question. Hello, so my first and only ranked game in League of Legends was me carrying as Teemo, and although we won pretty easily, I couldn't stop thinking of how horrible ranked would be if I queued for another game. Basically, if I put forth the effort, I could maybe make my way up the ladder pretty far, but I feel it will be filled with worrying, stress, and rage, because the only reason I want to do ranked is to get a wicked high rating, and if I don't, I consider myself wasting time. So I want to ask you, would it be worth it to go for the climb, or should I just stay in normals? Personally, I find normals to be more frustrating, because in normals people are like trying out champions and stuff. So I end up getting like bad people on my team because they've never played that champion before. While in ranked, if you're able to get a little bit higher, people actually look at your team comp and they try to pick champions they're good at, and I think that's more fun than normal games. But granted, if you want to like try out new people or learn a new person, I think that's what normals are for. So I think it just depends on what you're doing. If you want to get a high rating but you're worried that you're gonna have stress and rage, just ignore everyone. Just like ignore everyone. Like literally when you get into the game, /ignore enemy and then /ignore everyone on your team. And I would do that until you get to like a level of ranked where you communicate with your team and they're not gonna be like, you suck, blah blah blah. Or you could just be really positive. I try to do that now, where I'll just try to be positive. Sometimes it doesn't work as well, but usually it does. But overall, if I were you, I would keep playing ranked, and I wouldn't worry about it, because honestly, I find normals just as stressful as ranked, and I've probably played about an even amount of them both. So, and have fun, because it's a game. Okay? Okay. And the first random question. Hi there, Crendor. This question is for your random section of World of Crendor. I was wondering how you come up with most of your ideas. I have another question as well, ... D. Wolvesbane. Well, you didn't ask the second question, so I will answer your only question you asked, which is, how do I come up with most of my ideas? Most of my ideas just come up at random times. For instance, last week, I wanted to make a WoW video, and I had like a bunch of ideas, and I was like, oh, I can't do a lot of these ideas really fast. And I was just laying down, and then bam, I was just like, how to win at raids. And that idea just popped in my head like literally the day before I made that video. So just like, a lot of it is just, it just pops into your head. Like, you don't just like say, I think a lot of people think it's like, alright, I'm going to sit down and think of ideas. Like, that doesn't work. Because when you start like putting stress on your brain isn't very creative. So you need to just be open-minded and relaxed, and that's when most of your ideas come. For example, I thought of the unreleased Cataclysm trailer in art class because I was bored and I was just writing, and I was just like, oh, you know, it'd be funny if I parodied the Cataclysm trailer. And now that video has like 1.2 million views, so that was the only thing art class was worth going to for, because I learned nothing else from that class. But hey, it helped me in my video career, which is all that matters. And the final question, what is it you are saying at the end of all your videos? Why do you say it, and how did you come up with it? At the end of all my videos, I say, Theeya, which is see ya, except I think it originated from South Park, but when I used to raid in my guild, we would say, I wouldn't say it, but two of the people I knew in that guild would always be like, Theeya, and I think they were saying it from South Park, and it was just kind of like our thing, because they were just like, oh, we're saying Theeya, and that's what we say when we leave now. So I was just like, oh, Theeya. So then one day I just said it in one of my videos, and then it caught on because everyone was like, hey, I like that you say that. So it's kind of like the stamp of approval at the end of a video, which I'm gonna do right now. So thanks for watching, and if you want to submit a question, you can at worldofcrendor@gmail.com. And don't send it to any other email, don't PM it to me, because lots of people like to do that. Do not do that. Send it to worldofcrendor@gmail.com, and your question may be answered. Theeya!